Okay, now that I have my computer fixed, the YouTube is working. It was freezing up. It was freezing up. It was not a lot of fun to deal with. Um, Today, two very simple subjects: confidence and love. For my the current novel fun project I'm working on, I'm actually reading some Leo Buscaglia, who's one of the characters who pops into the novel. And this is, if you can see this, there we go. Oh, there it is. Leo Buscaglia, Loving Relationships. Maybe backwards on the screen, but this is something I'm reading, and I ran into something I actually read some for my wife here. How do you define a loving relationship? Um, Loving relationship is a choice partnership, loving someone in which even imperfection is seen as possibility and therefore a thing of beauty, where discovery, struggle, and acceptance are the basis of continued growth and wonderment. A loving relationship is one in which individuals must trust each other enough to become vulnerable, secure, that the other person won't take advantage. It neither exploits nor takes the other for granted. That's a very good one. It involves much communication and much sharing and much tenderness. A loving relationship is one in which one can be open and honest with one another without the fear of being judged. It is being secure in the knowledge that you are each other's best friend. No matter what happens, you will stand by one another. A loving relationship is one in which the individuals involved grow in their understanding and loving acceptance of each other's differences, and encourages each person to reach out and share as much beauty and love as possible to find. A loving relationship is one in which you accept the other person at the moment as a whole and receive that same acceptance. A loving relationship is one in which distinctions of personal rights, thoughts, possessions, emotions, and even actions become blurred, and it doesn't matter whether we share as much as humanly possible with the same ultimate goals. A loving relationship is mystical. It's a mystical yet concrete dynamic experience, fluid and in itself, rather than being a means to one end, where there are no expectations of the other, yet a deep appreciation of the relationship because of the intrinsic value, its possibilities, its wonder, and its truth, as it's expected with the other. A loving relationship is one in which there is a mutual caring about the growth and progress of each, where possessiveness gives way to offering the other to be his or her own person, where selfishness gives way to selfless giving, sharing, and caring, where the lines of communication are kept open, where the good in each is maximized and the bad is minimized. So what this means is that, with it's kind of like the marriage deal, where two flames become one. But the problem is, if the two flames become one and then the two flames go out, then each of the partners loses their individuality, which is the whole fun of everything. So the other's individuality must not be drowned out, and the people must in the relationship must realize that the individuality is an important part of it. A loving relationship is one in which each person fearlessly allows a deep awareness, knowledge of the other, and sensitivity to grow between them, with the understanding that no one is perfect, but that love is perfect, and therefore, as the basic tool of relating, can solve all problems. So love is the answer, according to this group of ideas compiled by the late Leo Buscaglia. People called him kind of a nutty guy, but he was actually really dedicated to helping the world out, become a more loving place. A loving relationship is the unconditional acceptance of another person, helping him or her attain personal goals, to grow and encourage that growth. Each sees the other as a friend who can be trusted, depended upon, and enjoyed. A loving relationship is one that offers comfort in the silent presence of another with whom you know, through words or body language, you share mutual trust, honesty, admiration, devotion, and the special thrill of happiness simply in being together. A loving relationship is one of trust and acceptance, which creates a tender, warm feeling of security and contentment. It offers unlimited support and strength upon which one can always draw. A loving relationship is an undemanding exchange of affection and concern, rooted in total honesty and continuing communication without exploitation. That's very, very important. A loving relationship is not defined by a length of time, but rather by a quality of caring. At its best, it is a healthy mutual exchange of thoughts, feelings, and experience. It is home for one's soul, a place to be ourselves and explore our deepest inner yearnings, hopes, fears, joys, without fear of condemnation, rejection, or being abandoned. It is an environment within which we can relax, are comforted, gain the strength to fight the daily battle. A loving relationship is one in which the loved one is free to be himself, to laugh with me, but never at me, to cry with me, but never because of me, to love life, to love himself, to love being loved. Such a relationship is based upon freedom and can never grow in a jealous heart. A loving relationship is one in which both parties feel so loved, so accepted, so safe that they can share their innermost feelings, dreams, failures, successes without reservation. It is a give-and-take, two-way, reciprocal interaction rooted in the mutual respect and cloaked with dignity, where tears and smiles are of equal importance, that one continually nurtures and supports growth. A loving relationship is like an ideal home. Within it, you can totally be yourself and be accepted, understood, trusted, and respected as a valuable human being. It is a nurturing environment where effort is made to provide enough caring and security so that one can share hopes and fears, where one is encouraged to learn and grow. A loving relationship is a wanting to celebrate, communicate, and know another's heart and soul. A loving relationship is being able to express the feelings frankly and honestly, with childlike spontaneity and openness. A loving relationship is one in which each one sees the beloved as not as an extension of self, but as a unique, forever becoming, beautiful individual, a situation in which the persons can bring their own special I to each other, and blending of selves without fear of loss of self. A loving relationship is a reciprocal, active, and changing bond that allows and encourages, in fact almost demands, using all the qualities necessary so that the lover will be all that he or she can be. Buscaglia notes here, it's obvious and rather exciting, as with all things we define our own loving relationships. What is important is not so much what the definition includes, but that it's defined in our mind and agreed upon by the individuals forming the relationship. For some, the relationship will require total honesty, trust, and commitment. For others, a less restrictive involvement will be essential. It will be well to think about the constellation of possibilities suggested when we say, "Come into my life, I love you." So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. This is a pretty good book here. Loving Each Other, Leo Buscaglia, and this is the author here. There he is. He gave a lot of inspirational talks in the 70s and 80s and perhaps in 90s as well. Died at the age, I think he was about 76 when he died. So it says, loving relationships, though necessary for life, health, and growth, are among the most complicated skills. Before we can be successful at achieving relationships, it is necessary we broaden our understanding of how they work, what they mean, and how and what we do and believe can enhance or destroy them. It is up to us to give our relationships a chance. There's nothing greater in life than loving another and being loved in return, for loving is the ultimate of experiences. Loving trust. That's kind of a cool phrase, huh? Loving trust. If you love, and if you are loved and you receive love, then that a trust comes out of it, is born through that. So the better quality of our relationships. It's something I'm talking to my teenager about, is that the quality of relationships that you have, you're defined by the group you hang around with. You're molded and shaped by the actions you choose. So it's not a simple cause and effect of your environment affecting you. It's much more complicated than that. That you choose your own crowd, which intent molds you, and the crowd that molds you is defined by you. So it's the infinite free will and determinism working together. So there's your philosophy lesson 101. But yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. The Challenge of Human Relationships, and I'm urging my wife to read some of this too. It's my wife is doing a grieving group because she lost her mother recently. Great person. Deb was a great person. And then I was checking out books at the library, and I was actually looking at books about relationships and grieving, and so I did find this too, and there it is. So this has gone a little too long, so what I'm going to do is split this up. This one is on loving each other, and then the next one is on confidence in the business world and confidence in life and how that can help you.